week 0 finally here. It's game week for Midland Christian. What is that just feeling like as a head coach?
It's the best time of year. It is the best time of year. You put so much work into it, starting in the off season, then going into spring ball, then going into summer ball, then going into training camp. And, I'd be lying if I said players and coaches don't at times go, man, when is that game or when is the season going to get here? Well, it's here now, especially with this new calendar we're on. It's happening a week earlier. So to say we're excited would be an understatement. But we got to stay focused on the task at hand, eliminate all the distractions that come with your first game of the year, first road game of the year, all the stuff, and focus on the plan, go out, try to execute it, and see what happens on Friday night.
Yeah, and over the last couple weeks, 2 weeks since we've last talked to you, what has really changed about this team that you've liked?
Yeah, I think it seems like each one of those chapters I referred to, we've hit the ground running. So there seems to be a little momentum building. And so it seems like every time we step into something new, we're so much better prepared than we were in the chapter before. And so as we enter this season, I'm really excited to see this team take all that hard work and see it capitalize on the field, inviting them to play free. We don't worry about results. We don't worry about the scoreboard. We just go play, and we chase our best. And I think this team is tapping into that. And when you play free, you play better. And so I'll have a great seat there on the sideline to see these boys go out and play free. And if we do that, we're going to have a shot.
And also in the last 2 weeks, what's been a position group that's really stood out and it's really exciting you for that first game?
Yeah, I think our O-line's really come together. If you would have asked me several months ago what's an area of your team you kind of need to see come together and get better, I would have said our O-line. We graduated some really good players. Obviously, Rowdy's off at Utah and all those kinds of things. That's a lot of reps walking out the door. We had several young guys. We were kind of waiting to see how they would develop and step into the roles. And then once you get the roles defined, now your O-line has to gel because no other position group on the team has to know what the other guy's doing more than O-line. So I've been really pleased with not only how our young guys have stepped up on the O-line, but now that unit is becoming one. And, when you got the skill guys you got to give the quarterback time to get the ball out to those skill guys. And so we have grown tremendously in confidence about our O-line.
And then with this being the first game of the season, how does it, after what you saw from last year, how does it really just set the tone for the year for you guys?
Well, you know me by now, it's a series of 1 week at a time. And so I don't really buy into if you win or lose the first one, that sets you on a trajectory for the entire season. I've told the team we earn the right starting Monday. We either earn the right or we don't to play well on Friday night. And then once that game's over, we process it, we learn from it, and then we start completely over. Obviously, if you're stacking win upon win, you do start feeling that, and I'm not discounting that, but the task remains the same. Whether you win, whether you lose, you start over, and you either earn the right to play well on Friday night or you don't.
Yeah, with this being a road game in week 1, how is it that a road test to start off the year can help with the discipline of, especially when you have later road tests, but also when there's home games with your team?
I think if I was anywhere else, getting on the road would be a much bigger deal. But these boys out here in West Texas, they're used to getting in the truck and driving 5-6 hours anytime they go anywhere. So for us, travel is just it's a way of life. And so I'm very grateful for that because our schedule demands a lot of travel. These kids are used to getting on a bus, having the correct mindset, handling the itinerary, being where they're supposed to be, handling all the distractions. I mean, one of our best games last year at Cornerstone, on game day, we laid in a Lifetime Fitness gymnasium floor for 4 hours on game day. Now, you ask any other coach in America, they would say that is a nightmare scenario. There's no way you can be ready to go play a game. And we went out and played our best game of the year and won that game. So it really doesn't matter to these kids. I love coaching a group like this. I'm not worried about the travel. Like I said, they're used to it. I'm more worried about what happens at 7:30 on Friday night when the ball's kicked in the air.
And I think lastly from me is just, like we already said, it's year 2 for you here at Midland Christian. But what does it just mean to just kick off another Mustang season?
Well, it's an honor. This is a special place. And I had heard about that when I got here last year, and nothing happened last year that contradicted that. But I think now that I got a year under my belt, I have a much better understanding of this place, the people that make up our community, the leaders we have leading our school. And it's just a privilege to get to coach at a place like this. So I'm excited for these boys to have a chance to go out and represent our school, do it in front of their parents and community that supports them so much. And we're going to work hard to give everybody something to cheer about.
Coach, as you ended last season kind of in the same vein, and you never wished for a season to be over, but I imagine as you got deeper into the season, you started to get excited about preparing and all the things that you learned in season one. What was that transition like from the end of season last year to hitting the ground running, and how excited were you to begin the process of building this year's team?
Yeah, I think in year one, because everything was new, we spent the majority of our time on what to do. What? Because now we have a year under our belt and the systems are in place and our team understands the systems, we've been able to transition to, all right, we already know what to do. Now, how do we do it? How do we execute it? And when you can have a team that knows what is expected of them, literally what is the play call, what is my assignment, what is my alignment, what is my technique, when they already know that and you can now dig into, all right, how do I actually execute this alignment, assignment, technique? That's kind of the secret sauce. And so that, I think, is what has allowed us to take that next step from just knowing what to do to now being able to go out and execute on a Friday night. And if we do that consistently this year, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
You've had, like you said, a lot of guys that have moved out of the program from last year that you depended on. Who are some of those guys, maybe in the first scrimmage or just in these first couple of weeks as you've gotten started, that maybe people don't know about that should know about?
Well, we've got several, and that's a good thing for our team. But Maddox Crow played receiver for us last year, kind of a rotational guy, uber talented. It speaks a lot about his character. He noticed we kept rotating in defensive backfield, and he came to us and he said, hey, if I could be of any help to the team on defense, put me over there. And so we tried it out, and boy, he took off. And so I'm excited to watch Maddox do his thing. He'll still help us on offense as well. But when you have kids coming to you saying, I don't care what position I play, I just want to help the team, and then you see them have success as a result of that, that's so much fun as a coach. And we've got countless guys like that, but I definitely think Maddox is one to keep an eye on.
And finally, you've mentioned sometimes tongue-in-cheek how you're about themes and you have a lot of sayings that you use with the team. Tell us maybe a little bit about either like no U-turns, what that means to you and your team, or I know you guys have spent some time in Isaiah, and just what are some of those things that you're really instilling in this year's version of Mustang football?
Yeah, my two main ones are chase your best. God's given you the opportunity and the ability to be here. What he asks us to do is honor him with our hard work and do it for him. So we're not going to worry about scoreboards. We're not going to worry about results. You can play free. Your job is to take advantage of the opportunity God's given you. So everything we do, we're going all out. And then we also have one we call no U-turns. Because when you're going all out and you're trying to do the thing, hard things start happening. Injuries. You don't get the position on the team you want. Your team's losing games. Fill in the blank. Most people, when life gets hard, take a U-turn. They make an excuse. They go back to being comfortable. They pretend they don't care. Coach doesn't like me. Whatever it is, that's a U-turn. And so we teach our team no U-turns allowed. We are committing to continue going forward no matter what comes at us. And game of football requires that, because no game is going to go exactly how you want. You're going to be asked to do things you don't feel like doing. So if we can get kids chasing their best, and then when they're on their way of chasing their best, they refuse to ever give in and take a U-turn, I feel like we've presented a solid truth that these young men can not only use in football, but for the rest of their life.
It's here a week early, but it's game week for you all. How excited are you to just get back out onto the field to kick off the season?
Yeah, I'm super excited, to get back out there with my teammates. We had a little test run last week with the scrimmage, but there's nothing like a feeling on Friday night when it's an actual game and when the lights come on, and so I'm really excited for that.
You mentioned the scrimmage. What did you see during that really just excited you about this team?
that we're explosive on offense and that we fly to football on defense. I think we played true team football last week, and I expect to see that this week.
And it's been 2 weeks since I've talked to you. So what in those 2 weeks, what has changed about this team that has also caught your eye?
How we pay attention to details more. We've been more intent, especially in the meeting room. We've been more intent with that, and I think really just paying attention to the details more.
Yeah, you guys opened the season on the road. Just going back to last year, what do you just remember from this team's mindset when it came to road environments and how you guys are looking to apply it once again this week?
Yeah, we live out in the middle of nowhere pretty much, and everywhere we got to go is about 4 hours, and so I think just the mindset is like just to go. Like we have no excuses, and we have a saying called bus fatigue. Everyone's always saying that it's a bus fatigue 4-hour drive. But I think we really tap into that mindset is we'll play anywhere. And I think that's what we really tapped into.
Yeah, Coach was mentioning about how his first year last year was just getting this team ready to figuring out what to do when it came to just finding out the system. Now that you guys have a year underneath Phil Dawson's system, it's now the coaching staff is expecting you guys to do certain things.
Yes, sir.
So what is it that the coaches can expect from you guys starting this week in the first game?
Yeah, just like I said earlier, paying attention to the details more. Last year we were learning what to do, and now we're getting into how to do it. We know the scheme, we know what we're supposed to be doing, and so just the details that really matter and how we're going to execute that play is really going to matter.
And obviously you guys would like to start the season at home, but starting on the road, how does that create just like the discipline for this team for the rest of the road games and also being able to take care of business at home?
Yeah, I see it as a privilege. I think it's a privilege to go down in week one in a big time matchup like that and to go on the road and have a chance to come away with a big time win. And so I see it as a privilege for our team.
And how do you see just this week one matchup kind of being able to set the tone early of what this season can be?
Yeah, I think we got a great opportunity. They're pretty good, but at the end of the day, I think they got to play us too. And I think just the biggest thing for us is not getting too high, not getting too low. And they're gonna have their plays, and we just got to be able to take the body blows and to be able to go.